This is going to be just a real short video trying to get you orientated with some different terminology so that when you go into the X-ray lab, there isn't a whole lot of jargon thrown at you all at once. So feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, whatever you need to do here. This over here doesn't look exactly like we have in our X-ray room, but in general, it's the same. This over here is the X-ray tube. This you're going to move all around the room and in different orientations, different ways to get to the patient. It's going to be this equipment here that changes the electricity we get from a wall outlet into actual X-rays. You're going to change technique. There used to be dials on this little bit older equipment. Now it's mostly just electric. One's going to be kVp, which is basically going to be how powerful those X-rays are. And the other one's going to be related to mass, which you'll learn is going to be the amount of X-rays that we're using. And what you do is you, in this case, point this tube with the window here heading toward the patient. We have this patient set up for what we call a chest X-ray. This line here is indicating the CR or central ray. We want that central ray lined up with the patient. And then over here we have the wall bucky. This, you can't see it very well from this angle, but this is a handle. What you're going to do in lab is pull out the wall bucky. And what you do is you pull on this handle, and this is a tray that slides out. You're going to put an IR or an image receptor into this tray so that it can capture your X-ray. So when you have all of this set up, you have this X-ray tube lined up with your bucky, your patient all positioned, and you go to press that button, that IR that you slid into this tray will capture your image so that you can process it and get it on your computer screen. I never forget that one of the newest words I'd ever heard in X-ray that they started throwing around immediately was the word bucky. So again, it's basically this entire mechanism here. It's what holds the IR, and there are also detectors in here and some different kind of shielding aspects. But this right here is the bucky, the X-ray tube, and then the central ray is going to be that centermost part of your X-ray beam coming out and heading toward the patient. Here's another view of the X-ray room, but in this case we're looking at the X-ray table. She's laying on the table. She's being positioned for an X-ray. You can't see the X-ray tube this time, but they're indicating that their central ray is coming down right here. And this is our field of view here, or FOV. You'll hear that terminology too sometimes. That's this light right here. That light shows you exactly where your radiation is going to go and where you'll end up having your X-ray. So your X-ray will include all the anatomy that's right here. Again, now we have our table bucky, and you can't see the handle in this picture, but what we do is we pull this tray out. We put our IR, which is indicated here by this gray piece right here. We put our IR in there, and in this case now we have a marker too that we're looking at. The technologist put a right or R marker here because this is her right side. So this will show up on the X-ray on her right side so that when we give it to the radiologist, the person that reads these X-rays, they can know, okay, this is her right side. So if they see some pathology on the left side, then they can be sure of it. This picture looks almost exactly like we have in our X-ray room. Again, here's the table. Our table bucky is going to be down here. You can't see the wall bucky right now, but here's our X-ray tube. We'll be able to adjust our kVp and mass, and our central ray is going to come out of that tube right here. This table moves up and down, and right on the other side of this window, you can see the window here again, and there's the table in there. On the other side of that window, you'll see something like this. Again, you'll be able to change your mass and your kVp here, and just choose a few different things. Once you go ahead and press the buttons here, you'll be taking your X-ray.